Welcome to Sports Connection. I'm Darrin Joins, Williamson County Schools Athletic Director. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Tate Mathews. Tate, we got district golf in the books. We have volleyball heading down that road of tournament time coming up, as well as soccer. So fall's in the air. It's a little more crisp outside. Lots of exciting things happening in the WCS.
No doubt about it. Postseason is here. And Friday night, first night we had, or at least I had to bust out a pullover. It was cool, felt like fall. So, yeah, all is right.
I did not bust out a pullover, but I should have. There's always
cold?
that. Got a little chilly down there.
Chilly Willie?
Hey, listen, I was over at Nolensville, and Coach Hudson and the crew said that may have been the biggest crowd they've ever had for a game. It was impressive. I mean, people everywhere. The band was doing their thing at the half. And I told them, I said, until October 7th.
That's right. That's going to break all records.
Although, now listen, I think they're going to step up. Keep it in mind now, that's the Friday before fall break starts. And as we know in WCS, 30A will be more packed in that stadium with Williamson County folks.
WCS South. Surely they'll stick around.
I hope so.
12 more hours.
I think they will.
That's going to be game of the, we talked about last week. Remember the game of the century, LSU, Alabama, man?
Here it is.
Here it is, baby. Let's go.
Here it is. Tate, now listen, we've got certain rules that we have to follow here that,
Yes.
HIPAA,
Don't want a lawsuit.
HIPAA, FERPA, would you say TI?
T.I. Craft.
Whatever that means. Listen, you're playing a little hurt. We can't get into specifics, but I appreciate it. I don't think anybody would have noticed if I would have mentioned it at the end, but I appreciate you stepping up.
Thank you. Hey, sometimes you got to play hurt. The team. Kind of hard to tell our kids to play hurt when you're laid up on the sidelines.
Now, listen, I'm probably not supposed to. I know you're a big Lakers fan, but if you haven't, check out Shaq's. Gives a great speech
About Kobe,
about team. Kids don't watch it, but it's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I think he said that at his Hall of Fame, maybe, or something. Yeah, no.
Anyway.
Yes.
But we appreciate you.
Hey, appreciate you.
We really do.
Glad to be here.
Hey, let's start off by talking a little soccer. Okay, we got a little soccer. Paige and Franklin, not Ravenwood, Franklin secured district regular season championship. Paige in the matches that keep coming back up, Murfreesboro Central Magnet. The fans out there, those of you watching, will recognize that name. They played them 4 times last year, 4 times, including a 4-2 win in the final. This one is 2-1. Paige, Gracie Segundo, your favorite player in the league.
That's right.
Scores in the 77th minute to secure the win. And the significance of the 77th minute, I mean, it's almost over.
That's right. Right down to the end. Hey, these two have had a lot of great battles through the years.
They have.
And they're going to see each other again, but Paige just always seems to come out on top. So that's going to kind of be messing with the Central Magnet psyche a little bit. But yes, Gracie, 77th minute. That's like getting that touchdown in the 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Fantastic.
Should we add an all-name team to the Wilcox?
She would be on it. I wonder if any of the kids get it, but yes, you're referring to Gracie, I left my wallet in El Segundo. First hit from A Tribe Called Quest. I know you remember that.
Coach Paul Brees, who's a fan of the show, he definitely appreciated it.
He thought that was funny, yes. We can always count on Coach Brees.
Always. To try to give us some corrections. A lot of times he's wrong.
Correct.
But at least he's watching.
At least he's watching.
Hey, Tate, this brings me to this week's gym. It's a soccer gym. 77th minute, we talked about the win. However, Paige trailed early in the match for the first time all year in district play. That's the entire year.
Yeah.
Murfreesboro Central scores in the 3rd minute. I mean, we're talking right off the bat, 1-0. What does Paige do? Well, they respond 2 minutes later with the goal by Anna Baker. So not so fast, Murfreesboro Central Magnet. We're going to tie this thing up. And then from there, it was like a defensive battle until that 77th minute. Listen, the way Coach Clapp and the way those young ladies are talking, they're going to win it again.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to win it
They
again,
are.
which is exciting.
Love it.
Now, Murfreesboro Central Magnet thinks they're going to have something to say about that.
They don't. Thanks for playing.
Okay, check that one.
Check.
Look,
Next.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you doing that.
My dad always said that. You know what they say in the barbershop?
What do they say in the barbershop?
Next.
Hey, let's talk a little Coach Burgoyne in Franklin. 4-0 win over Centennial. Now, what impressed me about this was all the scoring came after the half, which, it's that jar of olives, right? You get that first one out, and then
Hard.
they start flowing. Gracie Shields with 2 goals for Franklin. Emmy Mamas with a goal. Caroline Oldham also scored a goal. Again, all 4 came after the half. This is lining up to be a Franklin-Ravenwood district final, I think.
We kind of talked about this a couple weeks ago, didn't we? Franklin, they always start turning it up come tournament time. Burgoyne and his lady admirals and his boy admirals, I guess, men admirals. We kind of talked about this. This is just what they do. So, yeah, I think you're right. Another collision course, Franklin, Ravenwood.
Now, Brentwood's probably saying, hold on, we think we're going to have something to say about this.
And they should. Amen. And we talked about it last year. Marilyn Williams, what she's done with that program.
Done a really good job.
Fantastic.
Tate, let's talk a little cross country. Not much going on with cross country, except Brentwood goes down to the Wingfoot Classic. Now, you don't have to know much about the Wingfoot Classic, but just to know this. Number 1, the Brentwood girls finished 2nd. First time they've been anything but a champion. Now, they were a little short-handed.
They were.
In that particular race. But here's the other thing. When you see that their top finisher placed 13th, then you know it was a heck of a race.
Yes.
The other thing that I thought was pretty cool, at that particular race, they give what they call the Wingfoot Cup, and it's the boys and girls teams. Brentwood had the best overall team. They won that. And then on the boys' side, the boys did win the individual championship. Brody Chapman finished 4th. Brody's stepping it up.
Yes. And
Can he knock off Miles from Ravenwood?
Can, of course. I'll have to see it to believe it, but.
Yeah, I think it's probably Miles the favorite right now.
I mean, hadn't happened before.
But Brody's coming on.
He is, but Miles is running really well too. That speaks a lot to the competition on the boys' side as well. I mean, he finished 4th. I mean, 3 guys faster than him. Good race.
Hey, maybe we add Miles to the all-name team. We call him the 3.1 Miles Raymer.
I like it. That's good.
It's not bad. Usually it's in the middle, but not.
We need to have an all fall sports.
Nobody will laugh, but us
Names? No, they will. They'll chuckle. There'll be some people that chuckle.
Anyway.
Everybody loves watching the excitement you get and the pure joy you get out of saying Chubb's wild every time. I mean, that's worth it just alone.
Hey, speaking of Chubbs and his team.
Do you think we got a couple of cross country state championships looming in the future?
I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that. Yeah, the team titles are going to add up pretty quick here in the next month or so.
Well, you got a volleyball.
Check.
You're pretty sure you got soccer.
Check.
Cross country,
Check.
girls cross country.
I mean, we could get 4
Yep.
in the fall.
And could get 2 soccers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we could get 5.
That'd be unbelievable. We just need to shut it down. Would be like the what they're talking about doing in the super conferences in college athletics, except we'd be by ourselves.
Correct. Just play us.
Hey, let's talk a little golf because you mentioned Chubbs and his squad. Congratulations. And I feel like they've come out of nowhere. Page, boys and girls both, win the team championships. We're talking about the district tournament last week. Keeping in mind the top 3 girls teams, top 3 boys teams advance to the region, and really the region's the one.
Yes.
Because that's where it's pretty much going to be our squads again. But on the girls' side, Page wins by 2 strokes, just 2, over Ravenwood. Here come the Raptors, Coach Craig. He's not giving up yet. Franklin finishes third. So all the girls from those three teams advance. On the boys' side, you get Page 272, 4 strokes over Brentwood. Now, Brentwood, we were talking like state title, and it still could be a state title. But I'm going to tell you this, don't count Page out. And again, Ravenwood finishes third with 279. So you wipe the slate clean. This week will be the region championship with one team moving on to the state tournament. Now, just to show you the depth of golf in Williamson County. So we talked about those different teams. Franklin finishing third in girls. They finished fourth in boys outside of the advance to the region deal. But they get both individual champions. Sophia DiPaolo, 2 under 67, and Will Penson, who's only a sophomore, 7 under 64. And you know how impressive that is. You had a squad.
Yes.
Step up at the Nolensville. Was it the baseball or athletic scramble?
Baseball.
Baseball scramble, and 4 of you shot 19 under, which is impressive.
Yep.
It's impressive.
Second place.
The sophomore, Will Penson, by himself,
goes 7.
It's incredible.
That's very impressive.
It doesn't even seem real.
Very impressive.
And he didn't get to move his ball and do all those things you do in a scramble.
He didn't get does he get a throw and a mulligan? I wish I had it on video. One of the throws was quite embarrassing.
Who threw it?
My brother. It was bad.
You throw it in the water or something?
No, but he might as well.
Hey, Tate, talk about the top 5 individuals. Now, here's how they do it in golf. The top 5 individuals that aren't on those teams that advance, so outside the 3 teams that advance, they take the 5 next best scores. We have 5 girls and 5 boys who've advanced.
Brooke Brumman of Brentwood, Isabella McCutcheon of Centennial, Skylar, I know you love this one, Callaway Brentwood, Ella Peacock of Independence, and Cameron Porior of Summit. So congratulations to all those young ladies. And then on the boys' side, Will Penson.
Who won it?
He also competed at the Tennessee Junior Cup.
Which is a big deal.
Huge deal. And sophomore. Maybe not. Maybe doesn't even have a driver's license. This time. No, might not even have a driver's license. Think about that. Jackson Lively of Franklin, Eli Cleveland of Franklin, Luke Beatles of Nolensville, and Bo Twirtle of Nolensville.
I know Coach Ladd's pumped. Have 2 advancing.
Yeah. Hey, like you said, the main thing is just get in.
Just get in.
But Franklin girls, 3rd place and a 1.5 away from not making it in. Surprising to you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, because in girls they take 2 scores. So it's a little bit different than the boys setup. So you would think that
a stunner.
You would think that DiPaolo score is plenty, but you never know. You never know. Hey, Tate, let's talk a little football. We were back to the non-region week, except for Fairview. They played, well, if you want to call it played, it was a fairly quick game. Their region matchup was. But let's start with the WCTV game of the week. I thought this was a great win.
Yeah.
Not that I'm surprised they won. We both picked them. But Nolensville beats Rockville 49-27, who had knocked off Riverdale 20-3 the week before. I think I'm saying that score right, 20-3, 20-7. And outside of the beginning of the game, and look, I'm going to give Coach Derrick credit. One of the things that I was talking with Coach Hudson about early on, he said, how we compared to Page, you've watched both teams. And we were talking in the first quarter. And I was like, well, I think maybe Page, the defense, looks a little better. Well, after that, it was great adjustments by Coach Derrick. Yeah. 14 pretty quick points from Rockville, and then it was shutdown mode pretty much after that. They dominated that game. And what about the interceptions? Burrows with 3, Derek Burrows, and Tyreek Washington with 2. Jaden Wyatt had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. So you look at the offense and you think 49 points, but the defense had something to do with it too.
Yeah, well, and Rockville's the highest scoring team. So, Derek Burrows had 3 interceptions. One of them was returned for a touchdown. And I would love to. I should have called. I need to call Coach Derrick and ask him. when Smyrna beat Rockville, there were 3 interception returns for a touchdown for the Bulldogs. I'd love to know if there was something that they saw. Had to be, you know?
Yeah, I bet they did.
I would love to know that. Either way, you still got to go out and execute it. And then, you know, I've never understood that. It's kind of like when a guy returns a kickoff, you know, he returns one, okay, he's not going to get another one because I'm not going to kick that thing to him again. I believe I would have quit throwing at Derek Burrows. But anyways, no, that's a great defensive performance and against a really good team. And then offensively, you know, you can pretty much just write the script before the game happens. Kobe Walton, 253 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Chance Fitzgerald is leading receiver, 12 reception, 101 yards and a touchdown. Samson getting back on the train, 3 touchdowns. What about Dr. Vaden calling him Mr. Touchdown in game day a couple weeks ago?
It was great. It was great. He's kind of countywide now. Let's just say worldwide. Let's call it countywide at this point.
Yeah, this was a good game. And I don't think he'd mind saying this. Pretty early on in the year, even though they were winning, Coach Derek was not real happy with his, I don't want to say the culture, the attitude of his team. That changed after about week 2, week 3. He really, really likes this team.
Playing well. And look, I'd like to get on the sidelines with Coach Mathews because sometimes I feel like I don't know a lot, but sometimes I can kind of tell by people. I mean, Kobe Walton, by the way, got a great offer from Georgia Southern. That's a legit offer.
Yes.
But when I watch them play and I think about next level kind of prospects, I look at Chance Fitzgerald and go, he's got the look. He's got the size.
Long arms,
he's got,
can run.
You know, you feel like something pretty good's coming from him. Yeah. And no matter where he goes, if he decides to play, that he's going to contribute.
One would think, hey, that's a soapbox we don't need to get on, but I don't understand what some of these guys look at. So anyways, I would think surely he can make somebody a really good football player.
Centennial, this may be the only surprise in this game, a 24-0 win over Dixon County. Most would probably just wonder why it wasn't 44-0, but, you know, chance to play some other people. And then I want to get into what I'm going to call the boat race portion of our show. Brentwood, Hillsboro, Fairview, White House Heritage. Take it away. Oh, Captain, my captain.
Coach Finch, calling Captain Finch to the deck 3. Boat race city over the Hillsboro Burros, 42-7. 3 defensive touchdowns. Back-to-back interception returns for a touchdown by Will Adcock and Tucker Weber. Hamzi Nassar with 3 rushing touchdowns.
Another great name, by the way.
Great name. Christian Staggs with an interception. He was in on 2 sacks. Johnny Silveresti with the scoop and score. Kyler Green with a forced fumble. Everybody was contributing. Boat race city. Hey, we've talked about the defense and the offense. I'm telling you, man, get ready. Just get ready. The Bruins aren't done yet. So
we got a pick to talk about here in a little bit.
We do.
And then how about Fairview, oh Captain, my captain?
Coach Hughes, down the Tennessee River. White House Heritage, thanks for playing, boys. Layden Grant, 9 carries, 146 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Crawford Claxton had a really big night. 137 yards receiving on 3 receptions. 1 TD, 5 carries, 84 yards, touchdown. And our man Mays McCoy really starting to come in to his own as the starting quarterback. Fun to watch, big points.
Kendrick Curtis had 13 tackles, and obviously playing a couple of sports at a high level has really hurt Kendrick since he does okay in wrestling and football. So it's a shame he hadn't focused on one sport.
Yeah, I don't know why the guys at NPA haven't talked him into specializing. Don't make me reach for my other hat.
Cade Johns, 9 tackles. Peyton Mitchell with a sack. This is that portion of the season that Fairview starts dominating. White House, we're going to talk about that game in a minute. It's turning out it's going to be that Waverly game.
Yes.
That's going to be the one.
Yeah, they're the better of the two. But I think they're better in both of them. They've had a tough schedule. It's kind of like in the old UT games, back before we messed it up. They remember what you do in November. That's kind of what Fairview does. This is the time of the season we really start turning up and winning.
Well, the big thing for Tennessee is their schedule in November changed.
Correct.
Because at one time it was lowly Kentucky, which is not lowly anymore.
Not the same anymore.
Vandy.
Correct.
Seemed like there was another. They'd have a non-conference.
Yes.
And does that take it pretty much the whole time?
A little bit different than Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Hey, but Centennial Tanner Lee had 130 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Sam Cochran, 1-for-1 field goal, 37-yarder. And then Caleb Workman had 8 tackles and 1 interception. So, yeah, maybe we should have scored some more points. But the bottom line is we went in, got a 24-0 victory. A very wise coach that I know, I used this quote this past weekend, said, hey, man, don't ever apologize for a win.
Ever.
Ever.
Ever. Don't even think about it.
Yes.
I'm on the Centennial bandwagon, as you know.
You have been.
And I was on it early, so I'm going to stay on it. I'm not getting it off. I'm not getting off of it like that Sooner. Remember the Boomer Sooner?
Yeah, the schooner. Sooner schooner.
That guy got off the. I'm not getting off there. I'm going to stay on.
But see, that's not the bandwagon. That's not bandwagon.
That's true.
You were on them early. That's not jumping on the bandwagon.
True. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for.
Yeah, I give you credit. Give credit where credit's due.
Thank you for having my back.
You notice I had to take my hat off though. Even though
That's right.
Page thumped
That's right.
Giles County 45-28, that's not quite boat race city.
But so talking about Page again, 45-28 over Giles, 500 yards of offense for Page, 35-7 on the road at the half against a very good Giles County team.
Yes.
Only 2 losses are to Page and Nolensville.
That's right.
I'm telling you, and it's the same names, right? Ethan Cunningham, 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving. Colin Hurd, another big night, 17 for 21, 320 yards and a couple touchdowns. Max Collins, one of his favorite targets, 95 yards on 3 receptions and a touchdown. Pretty efficient night, Max.
Yeah, take it.
And then talk about that defense, too, playing well.
Caden Walker, 14 tackles. Seth Cabal with an interception. Jason Hoth, he's a name that you hear Coach Rathbone mention a lot. He had a fumble recovery. Coach Hoth used to be at Columbia. He's come over, and that's his son. They really like him.
Oh.
Good player. So, transfer portal. Coach Bone working the transfer portal. Giles County's a good football team. Now, do you read anything into this? I don't think you should, but some people do. 2 losses for the Bobcats. Nolensville and Page.
Okay.
Nolensville was not up 35-7 at halftime against Giles County. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I do.
So do you say, maybe Page is the favorite? Or do you say, that was earlier in the year?
I think you say, but I still think Page would probably be the favorite going into that game. Until Nolensville knocks them off, I think Page is going to be. And listen, in case both teams happen to be looking ahead, it really won't matter.
Normally, I would say never look ahead. But when you get to who these two play this week, by all means, look ahead. I mean, neither one of the coaches want to hear that.
No. But hey, guys, if there's any of the players, I know Sampson's watching. Don't worry about it.
They can put you and I out there.
No, seriously, got to focus in. Never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Well, it's a chance to get better.
Chance to get better. Ravenwood, 27-10 win over Hendersonville. Down early, 7-0, but they rolled after that. 27-3 outscored them from about the middle of the first quarter on. Chris Parson, 10 for 15, 141 yards, 80 yards rushing. Same story, different chapter for him. Carter Pace, again, big run. First play of the second half. He rumbled 67 yards for a touchdown. Ben Hubbard, there's a name that we're starting to see a little bit more. 6 receptions, 67 yards and a touchdown. And Cartua Chapman, only 64 yards. I mean, say only, it's a pretty good night. 15 carries. He's taken some of that load away from Pace, too. And you see Coach Hester developing some more weapons.
Yeah, and Cartua had a touchdown pass as well, 1-for-1 for 17 yards. Now it was a
one of those.
But it was a touchdown pass. So, yeah, Cartua is a weapon for sure.
He is.
The big plays, you see a lot of big plays with Hubbard and Carter. That's not just this game. You know, they're both guys, if they get in space, they're fast enough to take it to the house. So, I don't know that Ravenwood was really
They weren't dialed in.
I don't think so.
Well, I noticed Coach Hester had to, they had to promote it as, one of the great traditional powers in Tennessee. Asterisk, be ready, fellas, because we're 100 times better.
Yeah. Now, last year.
No, it's tough.
Yeah. So
tough.
I don't. Being down 7-0 and that 27-10, that really doesn't mean anything to me other than I just don't. Which happens sometimes.
Right. Slow start.
Yeah.
Slow start. Uncharacteristic interception from
correct.
Parson to start the game. Look, the guy's entitled to make a couple mistakes this year.
Happens.
He recovered okay.
TB12 even makes mistakes.
Now, this is the portion of the football recaps that we're just not going to spend as much time on these next three games. Franklin, 35-14 loss at a really improved McGavock. 3 turnovers for Franklin, which they can't do. And it all resulted in scores for McGavock. I think they got 20 points off of those turnovers, and they lose by 21.
Yep.
And the margin for error is kind of small. Brewer Wilson, another good game, though, for Franklin. 22 for 39, 229 yards. Rocco Panea, another great name.
Great one.
2 rushing touchdowns for Franklin. Again, Coach Melton, Admirals, hang in there. It's interesting to me. I think everybody agrees that you talk to. They're better than last year, but they're going to have a hard time equaling the 2 wins.
Yeah.
Was it one win?
One, yep.
I mean, it's going to be tough.
I think it was McGavock.
Right.
Sure it was.
Who's way better?
Way better.
But you look, they were the games they've been in. I know they'll keep playing hard. It's just part of it. They're in a period of their program right now. It's a little down, kind of like Centennial was a couple years ago. Now look at Centennial.
That's right. They're young, turnovers, and then big plays. They gave up about 3 big plays. Over 50-yarders, and they can't do that. So they know what they got to fix. Easier said than done, but you're right. They're better. Just need to get over the hump.
Independence drops a tough one to East Nashville, 32-7. On a night they honored the 2015 state championship team, which was pretty cool. Again, turnovers have kind of haunted Indy a little bit. 3 interceptions, a fumble, and a bad snap led to 20 East Nashville points, kind of like McGavock. And a lot of that is it was a good opponent.
Yes.
You can't make those mistakes against good opponents. Brooks, Sapone, 10 for 21, 126 yards. Trey Hartwell, he's another guy that just gets in the end zone.
Yep.
16 rushes, 74 yards, and the only touchdown for Independence. Last game, Tate, and this one actually surprised me a little bit in terms of the way Summit hung in there. A very good Beach team who's probably a quarterfinalist.
Yep.
Or semifinalist. They're probably a semifinalist. Brentwood, Independence, Ravenwood, one of those teams will probably play Beach in the semis, so they're a really good team. Beach was only up 7-0 until late in the third, and they go up 13-0, but a response from Summit, Dominic Hollis, 31-yard touchdown to cut it to 13-7, but couldn't get any more offense the rest of the way. Again, no moral victories, but you got to be impressed with the way they fought, because you could have looked at that and said, okay, they're going to go there and maybe get thumped by a really good team, and that just didn't happen.
Right. I think you nailed it. I mean, that's probably the way Coach Coleman felt about it. No more, hey, we're not into moral victories around here.
No.
But we got to be very pleased with the way our boys fought and played tonight, I think. That was Thursday night too, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that gives them another week to, you better be thinking about that come your pick. They get an extra day of planning.
For Ravenwood.
Yeah. Just throwing that out there, something to think about.
All right, let's go to the picks. So last week, the Fans and Dr. Qualls were both 7-2.
Who did they? Independence and Franklin?
Yes. That's who Dr. Qualls had, and I believe that might have been the same with the Fans.
Yeah.
8-1. I went 8-1. You went 8-1.
It's pretty good.
We missed a different game though.
I missed Franklin. You missed Indy.
Correct.
Yep.
So you have 40 wins. I have 39. Dr. Qualls 38. The Fans 37. Fans, keep voting out there. WCS CO Athletics. Let's see if we can have some separation This week, the first matchup, which you're going to pick,
Okay.
Battle of Franklin, WCTV Game of the Week. Game day comes back to Franklin. Listen, I know they're 0-6, but Dr. Qualls was talking about the Indy game a couple weeks ago. He's like, that Franklin crowd was like the Ravenwood.
Good.
So they're going to show up and show out. Is an upset brewing, Tate Mathews?
That's one of the best game days we've ever had. It wasn't the largest crowd,
It went
but it was
from
a big
worst
crowd.
to best. What changed, by the way?
Well, at the time, you were the basketball coach, and starting on Monday, you started revving the kids up. and telling
Probably
them
2 Mondays before.
2 Mondays before.
Because Dr. Qualls said it's the worst game day we ever had. Was that Franklin? I got offended.
I know you did.
I was like,
you
well,
took
we'll,
it personal. You said
I
we're
was
going
like,
to fix that.
We'll find out.
The Titans wide receivers there.
No, not for that one.
That was a different one. Yeah.
They were the crowd. They had the interviews in the crowd, and
Oh yeah.
we had students on the side, kind of like they did
Didn't
at
the band
Ravenwood.
director yell at the district guy? That was great. Okay, I'm with you. I think it's going to be great support. And you know what?
I feel butt coming.
No, I'm picking them until they win because I think they are. I think, and no ugly text messages from the Centennial people, please. I'm going with the Admirals.
Wow. Here's my chance to tie it up. I'm going Centennial.
Okay.
I'm either going to be 2 down or we're going to be tied.
Well, there's a difference here because you've said all along that you think Independence is the number 2 team in the district. So
That's right.
I'm sure you're going to pick them.
Well, let's move to that second game. So we've got Brentwood versus Indy at Brentwood.
Yep.
Brentwood's 1-1 in the league. Indy is 2-0, and you said it, so I'm going to stick with it. I know it's not trending for this pick to happen, but I'm going to go with what I said early on. They can't finish second if they don't win this game. The winner of this game finishes second in the league. I think we both agree on that.
Yes.
I'm going with Indy.
Okay. I'm going to stick with my statement at the beginning of the year that I think Brentwood will be second in the league. I'm going with the Bruins.
Do you notice we conveniently stick with what we said before
Yes.
if it's convenient?
Yes.
If it's convenient, we stick with it.
So I'm going Brentwood. There could be a big separation this week.
Could be, or it could be still.
Same thing
Like
as
it
that
is.
last week.
Fairview White House. This is one early on. I think we thought it would be one of the best, and still probably is, but White House, their only region loss to Waverly. Fairview's 3-0 in the league. White House 2-1. Who you got in this one?
Earlier in the year, I was a little bit more worried about this than I am now. I think Fairview wins this one double digits.
I agree. Double digits Fairview. All right, I'm up next, but it really doesn't matter for these next two. Nolensville at 0-6 Spring Hill. Page at Columbia, 0-2 in the league. Let's just pick them together. Nolensville, Page, blowouts.
If I'm either one of those coaches, I got a stopwatch, and I'm not telling that quarterback to snap the ball until there's 3 seconds left on that stopwatch.
You talking about Spring Hill, Columbia?
Yes, I'm trying to shorten that game, and I'm running the ball every play. I'm trying to get that over with as quickly as possible.
I thought you meant to stay in the game.
No, we're gonna run. We're gonna shorten this.
And I
game.
can hear the mamas and daddies, Coach, we're down 30, snap it. Correct, we don't want it to be 40.
That's right.
Just chill.
We're gonna do nothing to kill the clock.
So Nolensville, Page, we both picked that.
Both of them are. What's a notch up from Boat Race? Popcorn City. It's bad.
Final game. Another WCS matchup. Ravenwood, 4-2, 2-0 overall, versus Summit, who really played well. Again, been on the road a while. Summit, a lot of road games. 5, I think, in a row here in the middle. I think it's closer than we thought, just because Summit proved to me that they can hang in. Ravenwood, too many weapons.
Yeah.
I'm going Ravenwood.
I agree. Summit's getting better, but Ravenwood is the class of the league this year. The Raptors.
You know what's going to be a really good game to end the year? Summit Franklin.
I know.
And they'll both be playing hard, and they know each other. And, I always say this about football. I think one of the things that's really cool about it, and it seems like it would be a little bit easier to keep your team engaged, you've only got 10 chances to play.
Right.
When you have a basketball team struggling and you've got to face it 30 times, it's rough. Football, there's such events that I think that makes, and of course the coaches do a good job too.
Right.
But I like that about football because they are events.
Oh, big time. Big time. That's why. Who was it that said it? It's the front porch of your university.
That's right. It is.
So.
Athletics.
Yep. Makes a lot of money.
And football, the school year kind of goes with how the football season starts.
Yeah. Every smart administrator will tell you that.
I think it's true. Tate, appreciate you playing hurt. Appreciate you being here.
Appreciate it, man. I'll be back to full strength. I was questionable on the injury report, but
Listen, you can't miss game day.
No, I'm good. I'll be back. I hope.
Thank you for joining us for Sports Connection. We'll see you next time.